Good morning, Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living Community. Those of you who are in person and those of you who are online. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, and I just want to welcome all of you, especially if this happens to be your first time here. A special welcome to you. There will be acknowledgement of you later in the service. We have a gift for you. But in the meantime, just sit back and enjoy this beautiful service we have planned. This wonderful music. Jofully Cricket is back with us. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes up and opens up in music. I am beautiful. Thank you, Cricket. Shauna, my clicker is not working. So make sure channels 1 and 2 on the streaming is what you're saying. Okay, I'll come back and check it in a minute. All right, so sorry, little technical difficulties. We always like to have our streaming to be powerful and connected with us in every way. So welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to have everybody here in our community, and that we find the truth that is in this community and in all ways opening up to a greater truth. We like to begin our service with our vision and mission statement. If I could have those up on the screen. If we read together, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our vision statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. A glorious affirmation for us today to know the goodness of all life that comes through us and is channeled in this creative way of Spirit through us as us. Before we begin the regular part of our service, I want to make sure we know a few things going on here at our center. First of all, it's grateful, I'm grateful, I think you probably are too, that it's looking like we're actually going to get to a post-pandemic time. Yay! I know. So what you have on your seats, as well as there's a link for you online. It came out in the email. We'll send another email out that's just the survey. But we want you to do this survey because we'd like feedback on the kind of activities, the kind of classes, the kind of workshops. For the past 2 months, we haven't been doing our regular meditation on Wednesday nights. We'd like to know if you would like Wednesday night meditation or Friday night meditation or Saturday morning meditation, Friday noon meditation, and what time, because some people like it different times. So if you could fill that out, that would help us to know what kind of classes and workshops you want to be a part of, if you want to be engaged in any sacred service here. So just some different ideas. Fill that out in your leisure, either the online version of it or the paper version of it. Both work. We'll tabulate it either way. And we really appreciate your feedback and letting you know what you're interested in and what you're excited about, because we want to serve you. We want to do events and classes and workshops that serve you. So thank you for being a part of this community, and online as well. I think with classes, we'll continue to do hybrid classes because they work. Because for different reasons, different people's schedules, it just works. Workshops we'll do always in person because they're experiential and you need to be here in person to do that. And meditation we'll do in person. I think that works well too. We may do some recorded meditations for you to get access to whenever you want to at your convenience. But in terms of the weekly meditation we do, the meditation service, we'll be doing that in person. And then the thing I want to let you know is, because we've been thinking about what's next, I did schedule a workshop for March 6th. If you remember Brunessa Knutz, she is doing a forgiveness workshop after church on Sunday that I'm really excited about, where I'm going to be talking about forgiveness today. That's the topic today. And I think it takes more than a 20 to 25 minute talk to give you ideas about how to forgive somebody or some things or yourself. And so this is an experiential workshop after services on the 6th that she's a great teacher. She's lives the Science of Mind principles. It really is great to have her here to be able to do that. She's a ministerial student as well as a practitioner, so and a professional teacher on top of that. And then also I want you to save the date for Sip and Savor. That's coming up on May 14th, and it's our 4th annual Sip and Savor we do. We do savory foods and wine tastings, and we also have sparkling water and teas for those who are non-drinkers. And we do auctions, and it's for fundraising for developing our activities of compassion and action in the greater Napa Valley, and the kind of things we do here, the compassionate work we do here at the center. So it's an exciting time, and it's also one of those things that's great to we did it in person last year, but it was kind of hybrid in person. We'll be still doing a part of it hybrid, but most of it will be in person. So, before it was 2 years ago, it was 100% online. Last year it was 50-50. This year it'll be 70-30. How about that? So we're excited about that. And then also another fundraiser we do here is we like to spread the peace to neighborhoods. So we have a traveling peace pole that goes from yard to yard, and it's part of a fundraiser. So we ask you give a donation if you borrow it, but we can bring it to your yard and you can spread the peace in your neighborhood. And right now we don't have anybody signed up for March. So if you're interested in that, see me after the service. Or looks like we got one bid. Do I hear two? Do I hear three? No. Thank you, Marv. I appreciate that. Also, after the service we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing a Zoom after the service today, and in service talk, just discussion, not talk, but discussion, because I think we're missing connections sometimes. So we're going to right here in the sanctuary and on Zoom. So if you're out in Zoom land, you can participate in that. We'll have you set up and ready to go after the service today. And then also I want to let you know a couple things is we are here for prayer for you. We have practitioners who will meet with you after the service and give you a short affirmative prayer. We have prayer cards that you can fill out with your prayer request, or there's online you can give prayer request, or if there's any resources you need, just simply give Mary a call or a email in the office, and we'll help connect you with the right resources that support you. But also something fun, Shauna Marshall, our creative director, she's taken some prayers, some recorded prayers, and created in them some, put them to videos, and they're really pretty. And you can find them on our website. It says 24/7 prayers or something like that under Connect. I thought we had an image of it. There's no image on that? Oh, okay. What's the one before that? No, I guess it's not there. I think that's another one of those didn't update, so that's fine. And then we have many ongoing activities, including a recovery group that meets on Sunday evening at 5:30? 5:30. And you don't have to sign up ahead of time. It's a spiritual Buddhist style mindful recovery group that meets here at 5:30. It's really wonderful to have a new way of doing recovery, but it's the same recovery in so many ways. We have different activities for Spanish-speaking members, including services and meditations, and different kinds of activities that are all available on our website. So excited about that. And I will now begin the contemplative part of our service.
You are blessed, we are blessed, blessed be. I am blessed, you are blessed, we are blessed, blessed be. I am blessed, you are blessed, we are blessed, blessed be. I am I am blessed.
Good morning. Thank you. That was wonderful. It is with gratitude and knowing the presence that I bless today's service, our musician, Reverend Jay and his message, and each one of us. We are all part of a gift from Spirit. Today we are in the middle of the season for nonviolence. That time between Gandhi's death on January 30th and Martin Luther King's death on April 4th. Let us take the next few moments and look inside and see our own peace, our own justice, our own harmony. See those qualities reflected into our own world around us. Okay. Good morning again. Many of you know that I have a sister named Patricia, and we live together. And I want to say right now, Patricia, I forgive you for pulling my pigtails when we were little. And I also want to forgive you for throwing my doll out the car window. I still remember you broke her legs. I know that Reverend Jay is going to talk about forgiveness, and you've got Bernessa's workshop coming up, but I'm going to get my 90 seconds worth in here. In your mind, if you will, take anyone at all, any place, any time in your life, someone that you may be trying to forgive, that you've worked on this. Now, in your mind, just for a moment, say, Mom, Dad, John, Joe, Mary, whomever it is, just say, I forgive you for. Forgive you for whatever abuse, abandonment, whatever kind of hurt it is. I know that for me sometimes in my past, sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes those words, I forgive you, just don't work. They sound dry. And I do it over and over. And I know that there are people that have done this for years, trying to forgive someone from their childhood. But notice this. When someone says, I forgive you, there's a for something, for X or Y or Z. That second part that comes after the for is almost always a negative. He done it, she done it, I hurt. So when we talk about the power of words, and I know Bernessa did a class on the power of your word. When we talk about the power of our words, there's not a lot of power in that sentence. I forgive you for abandoning me. Because verbally, you've got a positive, I forgive you. And then following that, you've got this negative that really hurt you. Now, you may or may not agree with me, but I've found something that works for me with that. I've proven it to myself over and over again. So what I do when I have a situation that needs some peace, because that's what forgiveness gives you, that needs some peace, I just glom that person with love. I just glom them with love, just send them love. Every single time that person comes up in my mind, Lots of times it's at night, lying in bed. Sometimes it's driving. Who knows when? A person can come up in your mind. And, you're off and running with whatever your mind does. So every time that happens for me, I just say, I love you. Doesn't matter how I say it. I love you. And that's it. I cover them with love. Just 10 seconds will do. Then you're off about your business. But every time they run through your mind, creating habit, just mentally say, I love you. No expectations, no analyzing, no, you got to be sorry, but just over and over again. When you do this, or when I do this, often enough, when I send enough love, then what I find is that there's nothing left to forgive. And so, again, it's a practice. It's something that I do, something you may want to try. And don't forget yourself. Don't forget about yourself. If we could try something just for 60 seconds here, if you're willing, you can or not, take your arms and just fold them around yourself. Give yourself a good squeeze, pat yourself, whatever. Then, none of us in this time of the pandemic get enough of this. Then cross your arms the other way and do it again. Just love yourself, forgive yourself, say, I love you. So, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you. And Patricia, you're the best.
Everything is falling into place. Mysteries are synchronizing. Life knows what it takes for everything to fall right into place. Falling right into place. Trust you've never once made a mistake. Suffering is now dissolving, forgiveness awakes. Trust you've never once made a mistake. Never once, never once a mistake. Everything is falling into place. Mysteries are synchronizing. Life knows what it takes for everything to fall right
you, but I'm becoming a fan of Joyfully Cricket. At the same time, today I met her number one fan. Would you like to know who her number one fan is? It's her son, Jasper, here. He sings her songs all the time and is always giving her the thumbs up when she's singing and always says, "I love you." We need all fans like that, right? So thank you, Jasper, and thank you, Cricket. So a couple things I wanted to let you know. First of all, your survey, Mary Ward, our office administrator, said, the question I don't see on there, where's the thing to where we want more gifts? So she reminded me that we gave these out at the 50th anniversary celebration we had in gratitude of all people that are engaged in our community. And if you weren't here or didn't pick up one of these candles, we have lots of them. So please pick one up, no matter how long you've been a part of our community. They're these beautiful candles that just say grateful on them because we're grateful for you being in our community. Another thing that we've been wanting to activate in this almost post-pandemic time is membership. And so we had a few people participate in the membership class, and we have 2 people to honor today, but I'm not sure they're all here. I was looking for Michelle. Is Michelle Pinko here? I don't think she's here today. So the only person we have is Georgia Davis. So if Georgia can come up here. So Georgia comes to us in many different ways. First as a ministerial intern. I talked her into doing work with us, and then she ended up falling in love with us, which is not hard to do, right? And we fell in love with her likewise. Thank you, Mary. So she transferred her practitioner license and her membership, as well as agreed to our basic tenets of membership, which we call the 4 C's, which are commitment to being here through thick and through thin, and to commitment to consciousness is the second C, and then to the community as a whole, and then to contribute. And she's living those principles, quite frankly, in every way. So we do something official. We simply say, we ask her if she will abide by these 4 C's while she's here, and she says, I do. And then I have a question for you in a minute, too. So, Georgia Davis, do you agree to abide by the 4 C's of your membership agreement?
I do.
And then I ask for the community to your answer will be we do, and that is, do you support and commit to nurturing Georgia Davis in all ways?
We do.
You do. So I have.
They already do.
They already do. I know. It's a formal process. So I have a certificate for you that is your membership, and we also give out these cards. I'm not sure what people do with these cards, but we always say, well, now you're a card-carrying member. So, so here's your certificate. Let's give her a round of applause. Would you like to say anything?
Well, now that I'm officially married to this community, where's the ring? And I would like to say that it is the lovely Casper who is Cricket's
what
biggest
did I say?
fan. Like almost like the ghost, but with a K.
With a K.
Sorry
Okay.
to correct you, but I know it's important to him. So
Okay.
Casper.
So sorry.
Anyway, sorry about that. I am so grateful to be a part of this community. It really exemplifies for me. I cry for you guys a lot. Enjoy. Before I came to sing with you and work with the music here, I thought that my time singing was done. I thought I had had my 15 minutes. And the way that you have all brought me in, loved me up, how could I say no to the opportunities that Jay has offered me to come and work with you more and more and deeper and deeper? And I really look forward to our relationship getting even deeper and deeper as I get to serve our community more and come and participate more and get to know you all better singularly, because at my last community, that was through the classes, participating in classes. Really, I know so many people there, so I really do look forward to it here. And I'm even contemplating how could I move myself to Napa. So, because I know that Spirit calls, and Spirit calls in a big way. And so I work for Sonoma County, and I was looking at what does Napa County have open.
Same kind of things.
Same kind of things. But I mean, currently what jobs are open. So, I mean, I really do take my commitment to our community very seriously in that way that when I'm in, I'm in. And I'm in. And so thank you for recognizing that and accepting me in. And I do love you.
Thank you. I'm so excited about my topic today, Forgive to Live. I think it's an exciting topic that maybe I'll be able to move slides here, or maybe not. Well, hang on just a minute, let me see. Otherwise, I have to keep telling somebody to move them for me, and I try not to do that, but it looks like I'm going to have to do that. So. The whole topic of forgiveness, and Peggy, thank you for introducing the topic so well. I thought it was a great introduction, a great little activity that we can do, because I think self-love and self-forgiveness is probably the most challenging part of our forgiveness process. We've probably all heard, I mean, you've been around spiritual teachings and spiritual living, and we know that that forgiveness is an essential spiritual practice. It's a spiritual discipline. We know that forgiveness doesn't necessarily excuse actions, but it does stop their actions from destroying your heart. We also know without forgiveness, our heart can remain closed to the whole spectrum of love available to each of us. It's not about the other person, it's really about you. You might have been traumatized at some point, but you continue to traumatize yourself by not forgiving. And we know ultimately forgiveness heals. That's the bottom line. It heals us. Even it's forgiveness of ourselves. Because we need to feel to heal, and if we're in an unforgiving heart, it keeps us from feeling. It keeps us from that healing. Now, I know you've heard all that, right? Yet in the real world, forgiveness is hard. I can sit up and go, oh, just forgive, It is one of the most challenging, it's the most challenging thing I have found on the spiritual path, in spiritual practice. It is the most difficult thing. The big betrayals, the big hurts I've had, and when I feel like I betrayed myself as well. I was thinking as I thought about this topic, about the Sheryl Crow song that says, no one said it would be easy, but nobody said it would be so hard. Right? We know forgiveness is not going to be easy, but we didn't know it's going to be so hard. But our heart and our soul aches to be free, to let go of the pain. It is our mind that is both our asset and our liability, because it wants us to hold on. It doesn't think a person should be forgiven. They don't deserve it, and probably they don't deserve it. But it's not about them. It's about us. And we also know that forgiveness is not a one and done thing. It's a continual process of, if you want to think about layers like an onion, And like an onion, there's some tears that come with it, because in this forgiveness process, as we continue to let go, we know that we're going to feel that which we were not wanting to feel, that which we were almost shielding ourselves from feeling. That's part of the reason sometimes we hold on to an unforgiven heart, is because we don't have to feel it then. We can blame somebody else. So we do feel it. And that means some grieving that maybe we postponed. And what I'd like us to do is not run towards forgiveness, not hurry. I think some people say that word forgiveness too early, and then they realize it's going to take more work on the backside of that. I mean, I love it when people initially have that intention to forgive, but it doesn't come easy. It's going to come in layers. So instead, let's walk towards forgiveness so we can be mindful in the process, conscious of that which we have left behind, that which we haven't felt, that which still needs to be healed, because otherwise the forgiveness will not be complete. So today I'd like to offer you 3 ideas on how to walk towards forgiveness. The first one is to, and if you see this slide here, to forgive or not to forgive, that's a great way of looking at it, is you know that you need to forgive, but it's hard. So as we walk consciously towards it. So the first thing I'd like to suggest is we just practice forgiveness. I know that sounds easy. I mean, it sounds simple, I say, not necessarily easy. And what I've done is the same way that I wanted to understand fear in my life is I practiced feeling fear in a safe way. I love roller coasters. So I went on roller coasters. There's a reason you are afraid when you're on a roller coaster. There's like, oh my God. And you're going faster than you could ever imagine. And your feet are dangling, or you're going straight down. I did the the Superman one at Six Flags. Oh my God. Boom, straight down. But what it is I felt the fear. So when I was in my life making up fear, I could recognize it, that I was just making it up. It's not real. But I knew it in my body. So the same thing with forgiveness. I practice forgiveness in the little things, micro world. So the irritations I feel when there's a rude clerk or an inconsiderate driver or somebody who's kind of distant from me or something, the little things that aren't deep hurts, that are pretty much forgettable in a lot of ways. As a matter of fact, I do forget about them, but on the subtle level, they're still there. There's a little irritant. There's a little part of me that doesn't want to let go, but I'm not conscious of it because it was just someone driving, Why would I care about that? But it's in there. So it's almost like a crouching tiger inside of me that the next person that cuts me off or the next person that's rude to me, I'm going, I'm just waiting for that to happen and justify my anger because of rude, stupid people, right? Right? But really, if I take the time to unhook that in the little things, then I can be open to all my adventures in life. And what I also noticed as I began to unhook those little things, I found the deeper ones in there. They were hooked deeper inside of me. Look, with little barbs on them. If you're a fisherman, the hooks with barbs. These were barbs, deep. And so to pull them out, that hurt even just to pull them out. And I began the forgiveness process of that. And what I recognized is in the micro world, the clerks, the drivers, that they didn't even know I existed, pretty much. It wasn't about me. I tried to make it about me, but it wasn't about me. And then come to find out those bigger ones weren't really about me either. It seemed like it was. It seemed like it was directed at me. I might have even been the one who was hurt in the situation. But what I know now about psychology and spirituality is the shadow and darker ways of people, the compulsions of people, that they acted out of that unconsciousness. And so I need to just forgive them that they were doing the best they could at that time. And I need to let it go for me. And also I need to let myself off the hook too. Right? Because I'm always holding on to something that I did or something I wish I had done. And I also think about how life is like the game Chutes and Ladders. You remember that as a kid? Can I have that image up of Chutes and Ladders? So, is that working now? Mary, do you want to grab that for me and or Jay, somebody bring it up to me? So the Chutes and Ladders is an amazing game as a kid. And I don't know if you remember, but it's basically, you're trying to go from 1 to 100. Whoops, somebody moved it for me. There's a spinner that goes 1 through 6, and when you get a ladder, you get to go up. But if you hit a slide, you slide down. Right? And it's all based on if you were a bad kid or something, right? If you tore a page out of a book or you were unkind to somebody or you made a mess and didn't clean it up, then you slid down. Well, to me, life's like that. Sometimes I make a misstep. I agree, we make no mistakes. But sometimes I make a misstep and I step in it and I make a mess. And I slide down and I'm slid down. I go, gosh, I have been here before. What am I doing here again? Okay, dust myself off and get going. And I look for the ladders, the grace of God to transcend to something greater. And sometimes that ladder is really hard. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it feels like an escalator that lifts me up. Sometimes it feels like an escalator that's going the wrong way and I'm trying to step up it. But either way, I know that it's Spirit guiding me up towards that, to let go, to be present, to be mindful, and to be free of these things that hold me in tightness. You know, the ancient word for forgiveness just meant to let loose the things that bind us, the knots in us. So that's all we're doing. We're noticing where we're tight, where we're held in, and we're letting loose. Because we want to be free. Our soul and our heart wants to be free. So we step aside those thoughts we have. We notice them and we know they're not true. And in that way, we begin to practice deep forgiveness. The deeper wounds that are in us that we haven't dealt with, that we have had an anger or an unforgiveness that's stepped out in front of it. So we shield ourselves from feeling that, to keep ourselves safe, but we're safe now, and we can deal with it. I've been reading the story about the diving with a purpose teams. I don't know how many people know of this group? They're a predominantly black group of divers, and they have a quest to document and research slave wrecks salvaged from the Middle Passage. Now, I didn't even know the word Middle Passage. The Middle Passage was 36,000 voyages between 1500 and 1880 that forcibly transported nearly 12.5 million Africans to slavery. 12.5 million. That's twice as many people that live in all of the Bay Area. And 2 million of them, 2 million out of the 12 million, did not survive the voyage. Either because they were injured or sick on the boat, or because their boat capsized and sank to the bottom. And so these divers are beginning to look and navigate these areas. And it's interesting, one of the founders and oh, by the way, there's a National Geographic podcast and also a 6-part series with Samuel Jackson called Enslaved. And there's other YouTube documents about it, so you can find information about this, and it's really fascinating. But one of the founders, Ken Stewart, said, documenting these ships has its own history, and each ship has its own story. I think now is a critical time in this country's history because they've been trying to change the narrative that our ancestors who were enslaved, that they were really immigrants who came here willingly. We know that's not true. So that's why they're documenting, and they're one of their ships that they've spent a lot of time looking for is off the Florida coast, and it's called the Guerrero. And actually, slave ships were outlawed in 1808, but the slave trade continued until 1880. So this was one of the outlaw ships in 1827 that was being chased by the British Navy, and it ended up sinking, and 41 enslaved Africans drowned in the sinking of that ship. So they've been able to do that. Another one of their divers, Kamu Siddiqui, retired engineer in Washington, D.C., says, it's critically important for us to connect directly to these stories, to bring these stories from our ancestors out into the public square and talk about it. And so the divers have recovered shackles and slave pins. And he went on to say, I just remember approaching the first time I touched a piece of the ship. And almost instantly I could hear the screams and crashing waters and the horror, pain, and suffering that went on. What's fascinating about this group, while they're doing this deep forgiveness work, literally diving deep and mindfully aware of their own feelings, their ancestors, they're also being aware of the environment and being aware of the coral reefs that are in many of these areas around these ships that have sunk. And they're doing their best to restore the reef habitats that have shrunk 30 to 50% since the 80s and could disappear completely in 20 years. And I don't know if you know it, but it provides like half of the oxygen of the planet, the coral reefs do. So between that and the trees, we need to do everything we can. And so they're both nurturing the ocean and preserving their heritage at the same time. So I get great inspiration from that. And I also get inspiration, being this Black History Month, thinking back of other, both Africans and Black Americans and their process of forgiveness. I think of Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu and the forgiveness work they did around apartheid. And I think of those that were brought in as slaves, their ancestors, or even coming from other countries post-slavery times, and the discrimination and racism and violence and brutality they still have to deal with. That people are dying still, being brutalized, discriminated against in housing in different ways. So we want to make sure we do what we can as allies to do this. But this talk is more about forgiveness. I just want to focus on this forgiveness idea. I'm trying to get the right date here. In 2015, you probably remember that the Emmanuel African Methodist Church was holding a Bible study, and a young white supremacist, Dylan Roof, walked in, and they welcomed him with open arms, like we would anybody, right? And he shot 12 people, killing 9 of them. And the forgiveness process of 3 people has really inspired me. This is Felicia Sanders, Polly Shepard, and Jennifer Pickney. Felicia, on the left-hand side, lost her beloved aunt and her 26-year-old son. Polly Shepard was there at the event, and she survived because Dylan Roof told her, I want you to tell this story. I want somebody to survive to do that. And Jennifer Pickney on the right lost her husband, who was the minister of that church, the Reverend Clementa Pickney. So this is a story of that I'm going to run a video clip of them talking about their forgiveness, and it's really powerful.
Just 2 days after losing their loved ones, family members said they forgave the shooter.
And I forgive you.
But may God have mercy on you.
How hard were those words?
It wasn't hard at all. I had some other things to say to go with it, but someone behind me started crying. What people don't know is that there was a silence in that room. It felt so serene in that room. There was a calmness in that room. Me and Miss Foley watched my son take his last breath. But for me to be kneeling right over him and looking at how beautiful he was, and he seemed like he was at peace.
Polly describes a light in the room that seemed almost spiritual.
And there was a light in that room. It's almost like the lights was off, but they weren't, remember?
Yes.
It was like we were in a twilight. It was 2 different lights in that room. He had a laser on that gun, that was one of the lights. But the other light was, it was a quiet, it was like you were in a different world. Yeah.
She says she felt God's presence.
I have no doubt that he was in that room with us.
With all that loss, you still know he was in the room
I
with
know
you.
God was in that room, yeah.
I know that we're all people, and you feel the same pain, and you feel the same hope. So, Polly, for you, the idea, I would think that you'd be livid, angry, want revenge, want to just take the guy by the throat, you know?
I was that way at first. But then I thought about Felicia. Felicia had lost her son. And I said, if she could forgive, why are you so hard-hearted you can't forgive? So from that day on, I had a release. Because forgiveness is like, you think you're letting somebody else off the hook, but you're actually letting yourself off the hook. Because if you keep it, there's no healing with hatred. You have to love each other. That's our second commandment.
Beautiful, isn't that? And the healing light that she talks about, that she was mindful enough to see the stillness, to experience the stillness and experience God, the light in the room, to let go of any fear. Just extraordinary story, how present she was. And her words are my words that if they can forgive, I got little stuff to forgive, right? Little stuff. It inspires me so much. And I also know that they come from this adopted faith. They came, the slaves that came here adopted a faith that's gone through the entire black church community of this Christian faith that is just so deep in their faith. And we definitely include the progressive Christianity with our faith as well. And it's the love that's talked about. The forgiveness is a deep part of it. But we also add another piece that we believe in, and that's the oneness of all life. That we know another reason we forgive is there's no difference between that person that we're forgiving, or if it's ourselves, that we are connected with all of life. And that's what we bring to the table of forgiveness, that when there's only one, who are we forgiving? What is there to forgive? So on your seat, and if you didn't get one, we can get you one. There's a little package, another little gift here, and I want you to open it up. And inside of it, you'll find a little jewel. A little jewel like this. It's underneath you here. You want to grab that? Did you get one? Okay. So what this represents is there's a myth in the Hindu tradition about Indra's net. And the story goes like this, that the whole world is a network of threads, almost like a spider web. And at each point that intersection happens, there's a jewel that's there. And each person, each life form on this planet is one of these jewels. And what's amazing about this is we know about this universe is it's not just in this room or in this state, anywhere else. It is in the entire universe, of which they've never found an end to. It is continually creating itself. So new networks and new neural pathways are being created both in our brain and in the universe. So this jewel, if it represents this idea of being on the intersection of two threads from the spider Indra, from the mythological goddess Indra. And we sit on this place, from this place, not only do we recognize our own clarity, our own translucence, our own light, but we also reflect the light of those people around us. We're connected to those people. They're a mirror to us, and we are a mirror to them. So we are connected. And when you have family, you have close friends, they're those little jewels right around you close by. and your area spreads out from there, people you know, acquaintances you know, people you work with you don't know that well, a bigger circle. But beyond that, there's everybody, all life in this universe, that we are all connected. And so in this context, forgiveness for me is also easy. Because who am I to hold something against somebody or against myself when we are all connected and all one? So this is yours to keep. You can put it back in the bag or hold on to it either way. And just your reminder, your touchstone that we are all one. Let us go to prayer. What I know in this moment is there is only Spirit, and that is all there is. And there is a connectedness that we feel in our heart, in our soul, in our beingness, that we are a reflection. We are the light, and we reflect out to the world, and it reflects back to us. We are so grateful for this sense of oneness and for the soul's and the heart and spirit's urge for us to be free of anything that holds us back. I know we are connected at a deep level with each other and with Spirit, and this is what guides us even when we drop down that chute, or as we struggle to get up the ladder to transcend this situation. I know all is well within us. And for this, I'm so grateful. And so it is. And a little more cricket now.
Days they come and days they go. What you plant is what will grow. And you sow, you sow, you sow. Something's gotta grow. So you want it all, give it all you are. So you know it all, give it all you are. Give it all you are. Time feels fast and time feels slow. The clock ticks by, I watch it go. And it goes, it goes, it goes. Something's gotta grow. So you want it all, give it. Has not been done before. Tend to the fire that burns within your soul. Trust yourself, you'll know. You'll know. You know. Love surrounds and overflows. The more I give, the more it shows. And it flows, it flows.
Beautiful, Cricket. Thank you. Thank you so much. So this time in our service, we invite you to participate in the sharing of your abundance. We have a number of ways that you can participate in that, either online donations, PayPal or Breeze. You can even text it, or you can write checks to us. Either you put in the mail or you have contributions today. You're welcome to leave them in the basket in a few minutes. But we also know that you contribute in so many ways of your service, of your time, your talents, and we just appreciate your engagement in our community in all ways. So if you would take your hand and put it over your heart and hold that which you are giving to this community and repeat the affirmation that you see on the screen. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is. So you're welcome to bring your contributions up to the basket in the back or up in the front. Thank you. And a little gratitude song here now.
Grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I sing thank you. Blessed be. I am grateful and I raise my voice. Thank you. I give thanks and I sing for joy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I sing thank you. Blessed be. And so it is.
Thank you so much. We are so grateful, so grateful. Thank you. We'd like to bless those who might be here for the first time. If you're willing to raise your hand or put in the comments online that you're joined us for the first time, we'd like to acknowledge you. We have a small blessing for you. We have, do we have somebody give it right up front here? We have somebody that's willing. If you'll raise your hand, if you're willing to do that. So great to have you with us today. And anybody else online, we would like to raise our hands with a blessing for returning and new people. And we simply say, we bless you today, knowing that the happiness you seek. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in our world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. So we are knowing that the peace and happiness you seek helps to read. So many blessings to you. A couple of reminders, we are going to have a powwow, so to speak, a time to just talk about whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk about forgiveness today. And we're just going to meet here in the sanctuary at about noon, and we'll connect. Please fill out the survey. Consider taking Brenessa's forgiveness workshop that's on the 6th, and know that you are blessed. So many thanks. Let's do the community affirmation. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is. And now our closing song of loving kindness, which you've heard enough. You should have it down by now. Let's go ahead and stand up and sing it.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy.
As we go forward, we know that we are wise, healthy, and happy. And so it is. Have a great Sunday.
So far, so good. You will remember the great dream that you are. The spark ignited, and you sparkle like the sunlight on the lake.